Oh boy, where do I even begin? Leak season is fully here. Last night in my video, I mentioned that multiple people have leaked images and gameplay videos of Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer, and early this morning, we have a bunch of images that came out, including our first look at how the gear selection is going to work for perks. We have some new weapons that we had a chance to see. The new logo is able to be seen, and on top of that, we have some I guess you would say, first-hand leak accounts on how these maps and modes are going to feel like. So let's talk a little bit about that. Once again, for the sake of this video, I gotta let y'all know, we're talking about leaks, we're talking about rumors, we're talking about things that could inevitably change at the end of the day. I think I saw someone mention that the leaks and the images that we're gonna be seeing is from early on in the game's development cycle. So keep that in mind as we push forward. These leaks have been curated by a few different people, including Bob Network UK, COD Perseus, and the Ghost of MW3, all of which will be linked down below. So let's start with the information coming from COD Perseus. This account has updated their profile picture to whom I can only assume is Makarov from Modern Warfare 3. Now, the image is kind of hard to tell who it is, mainly because there's a face mask involved, but it definitely gives me Makarov vibes, and I could be mistaken, but I'm just going to leave it at that. Now, on top of that, Perseus goes on to mention that cut Vanguard content is apparently coming to Modern Warfare 3. And if y'all remember, when Vanguard was out in its prime, there was a lot, and I mean a metric ton of content that never made its way into Vanguard, so I'm really curious to see what ends up actually coming to Modern Warfare 3. Let's go ahead and talk about the leaked weapons that are coming through. The images show off some assault rifles by the name of the BAS-B, the MTZ-762, the Sidewinder, and the TAC-V, which I think the TAC-V is just straight up from Modern Warfare 2. Then we have the AK-556, the CDG-58, which is definitely giving me vibes of the FAMAS. Then we have the Anvil B. This one definitely looks like the FAD from MW3. We also had this weapon in Vanguard, if y'all remember. We got the MCW and the MTZ-556, and then the last weapon you can see is cut off because the image is cut off. It says it's the Holger, which we've seen the Holger before, so this is going to be some different Holger variant specifically made for ARs, but unfortunately, the image gets cut off and we don't see the rest of it. Now, last night, I was mentioning in my video that perks have been changed. No longer are we going to have standard perks. Instead, we're going to have gear that act like perks. So for example, all of the gloves ended up leaking this morning. That includes the tactical combat gloves, the scavenger gloves, marksman gloves, assault gloves, and specialist gloves. We spoke about the vests last night, but we can actually see them today because the image released, and that includes the gunner vest, overkill vest, grenadier vest, infantry vest, scout vest, and tactical vest. And how these are going to change the way that you utilize perks in game. Let's just say, for example, you run the gunner vest. In the game so far, the gunner vest allows you to run 2 primary weapons, but at the cost of taking away your tactical, your secondary weapon, and your lethal equipment. If you run the scout vest, I'm going to assume this gives you a ghost-like effect with other disadvantages to it. So they're just replacing the perk icons with gear. This honestly does make sense. We've seen them leaning into this even as early as Modern Warfare 2019, where we had our perks appearing on actual gear pouches that would be equipped to your character themselves. And just as I was recording this, another image ended up leaking showing off some marksman rifles and sniper rifles. These include the KVB-73, the KVS Terminus, AMR-50, and then finally, there's a weapon that doesn't have its full name just yet. However, it does confirm that the game's codename is in fact Jupiter, which is something that we didn't really need confirmed because we already knew it, but here we are. Within these images, the logo of MW3 has been revealed as well. Very similar to the past when we had Cold War Vanguard and Modern Warfare 2019, when you were playing Warzone and you would select a specific weapon, there would be a little icon in the top corner showing you what game that weapon came from. Similar to this, Modern Warfare 3 weapons have the MW logo, but the W is in red as opposed to being in green like the current MW logos are. Here is my attempt of making the current MW logo. This is not from the game. I recreated this in Photoshop myself, so Activision, please do not strike me down. Now again, as I was recording this video, another image came out, this time from Bob Network. It shows off the Create a Class menu, which gives us another look at 2 other weapons, including the Rival 9, which definitely looks like the Scorpion Evo, and the Raffica 3-round burst pistol. That's a blast from the past. And speaking of images coming from Bob, there is one image in particular that I'd like to talk about. You can definitely tell that this isn't from a map, it's from an area in which developers do their testing. And in this area, you can actually see a character that has an outfit on that almost looks similar to like Dark Matter, Black Sky. And I don't entirely know what to think of this image right now, mainly because at the moment of recording, the one thing that I've always wanted to see moving forward are the operator outfits that you can work towards. Technically speaking, the last time we saw this was with Vanguard, Sledgehammer's last game, and you can get the mastery gear by going to rank 20 on every single operator within that category. And I think that could be coming back. And if that comes back, then my goodness, I'm going to be so happy. The outfit the character's in looks awesome, by the way. I just want to say that. It is very, very familiar to Modern Warfare 2. However, this is what the Ghost of MW3 had to say. Modern Warfare 3 will very much feel like a Modern Warfare 2.2, but the game will step back from some of the, as of late, typical IW design choices, like red dot, slower movement, aim down sight attachment penalties. Design is, as expected, more colorful, but the map design, and that's where, unfortunately, the conversation ends. What this could mean for the map design, I don't really know. Maybe they discovered a couple of maps that just don't really play well. The thing that we have to remember is Modern Warfare 3 is going to be comprised of a lot of Modern Warfare 2 remakes if the rumors are to be believed. And I think that the new, unique MW3 maps that we're going to be getting are going to be far and few in between. Very similar to Modern Warfare 2 and how they've been handling this year. Not to say that that's a bad thing. You know, this could be the closest thing that we get to a Modern Warfare 2 remake for multiplayer over the actual Modern Warfare 2 remake that released, and the multiplayer is just nowhere to be seen, right? So I'm not really knocking it there. But what it does sound like is Sledgehammer is reversing a lot of these really bad gameplay design decisions that Infinity Ward was just so stuck in their way that they didn't want to change. And to me, that does get me very excited. Although I think Modern Warfare 2 plays extremely well in certain cases, you can definitely feel when it's slogging, like when you're trying to slide and fire at the same time. That just doesn't exist anymore. You can't reload cancel anymore. I hope that's a thing that they change as well. I just really liked having these other things that allowed you to perform movements and abilities a little bit faster if you were a better player. You weren't penalized for being a better player. And I'm really hoping that this will translate well into Modern Warfare 3, but only time will tell. Now, as for the leaks that came out today, obviously I can't show you any of the images, but I'll put links in the description below if you'd like to go check them out for yourselves. As to if those accounts are still online as of when this video goes live, I couldn't tell you, but leak season is definitely interesting because it looks like they're making some pretty big changes in comparison to what we see currently with Modern Warfare 2. And also, one more thing too, with Modern Warfare 2, we were having our countdown timers on perks. That doesn't seem to be the case this time around, so that, in my opinion, is a huge bonus, not having to wait for your perk to set up. You just have it from the beginning, just like every other Call of Duty game in existence. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe for more, and don't forget to check out the links in the description below. I will see you all on the next one. Peace.